Good morning to all of my students. Today I'm going to reach out to you with a new poem of class 11 from the book Hornbill. The name of the poem is A Photograph. A Photograph that's written by Shirley Toulson. What's this poem about? In fact, this is about the memories of childhood and how a girl feels on seeing the pics of her parents or mother or father, whoever it may be. But here, especially when she is seeing the photograph of her mother, how does she feel? That's the universal feeling, I think so. But what happens in the poem? First of all, I would like to go through the lines of the poem to make it convenient for you. This is your Hornbill photograph written by Shirley Toulson. The poem starts with the line, "The cardboard shows me how it was when the two old cousins went sailing, each one holding one of my mother's hand, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so." Now you can understand. The cardboard shows, it means there is a piece of cardboard like this. This is the piece of cardboard. Cardboard, in olden times, on these pieces, the photograph was pasted. So the poetess has named it a piece of cardboard. On this piece of cardboard, what happens? There were two girls. That is, this is one girl and two girls. These are holding the hands of the big girl. Two girl cousins went back. They call cousins. These two girls are cousins. Two girls. Who are these cousins? Cousins. Okay. They went paddling. It means they went onto a sea beach. They were paddling in water, and even holding one of my mother's hand. One of my mother. This is the mother of the poetess. Mother of the poetess. Okay, mother of the poetess. Her hands are being held by these two cousins. These two girls are cousins and are holding the hands of the big girl, who, according to the poetess, is the mother of her. Each one holding one of mother's hand, and she the big girl. This is the big girl, some 12 years old. Or the poet also mentions the age of this big girl, 12 years or so. She was about 12 years old at the time when she was photographed on the beach. All three stood still, and all three girls stood still. They were standing calm like this on the beach. And what happened then? To smile through their hair. Stood still while they were smiling through the hair. It means their hair were just spreading over the face, and that's natural whenever you are just going to a beach and you are playing with water. And naturally, your hair happened to spread over it, and so they were giving a smile through the face. These girls were smiling, and at the uncle who they were smiling at the uncle who was holding the camera, who was taking the photograph. A man who was supposed to be the uncle was taking the photograph of these girls, and he must have naturally asked them to put on a smile. And what happened then? At the uncle with the camera, a sweet face. How does this picture look like? This picture looks like a sweet face. The face of the mother of the poetess is very sweet. My mother, that was before I was born. And the poetess again makes it clear that this picture is about the time when she was not born. It means at the age of 12 years, no one is supposed to get married and bear children. So this is about her childhood. and before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changeless. Now he sees the sea. Sea appears to have changeless. There is hardly any change in the sea, but at the same time, this compels the poetess to think that she has changed. Human being is changing, but the nature is not changing. There is hardly any change in the sea, but when he sees that her mother changed a lot since that time, then what happens? Watch their terribly transient feet. And he says the water that was passing over the feet of these three girls has not changed, but the mother has changed. Here is an expression, terribly transient feet. That is, the feet are transient, feet are mortal, we people are mortal, and nature, here in terms of sea, is immortal. So, some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. What happens? After 20 or 30 years, her mother happens to laugh at this snapshot. Just for example, when we happen to see the picture of a child, we happen to laugh, oh, how our parents gave us clothes to wear, how are we dressing at that time, oh, so funny. So this happens here also, because the girl after 20, 30 years has become mature now, and she happens to look her photograph and just smiles or laughs. How beautiful it is, how their parents dressed them up for the beach hall. As you know now, her mother after 20 or 30 years happened to take a photograph and would just laugh at it. Question is why she laughed at the photograph, and simple answer is that she must have become mature now. And naturally, when we are mature, we see our child photograph, we happen to laugh at them. Oh, see how our parents were there to dress us at that time. So the sea holiday was her past. This is the past of her mother. Past is past. Past comes in everyone's life. There are two parts. A sea holiday and her mother's laughter. Sea holiday was the past of her mother, and mother's laughter was the past of speaker. Past of speaker. There are two parts now. One, sea holiday and mother. These two parts are different in reaction. How? Mine is her laughter. She is smiling, that's my past. My mother is smiling. This is my past. The sea holiday, she was on the beach. This is her mother's past. But all of a sudden, there is a change of situation. It means she was getting very happy on seeing the pictures, but all of a sudden, this picture has a downward trend. The mood is down now. What may be the reason? Reason is clear. The poet's mother is no more. Poetess की माँ अब दुनिया में नहीं है. And naturally, this idea of her mother not having been in the world for long makes her quite unhappy. So her mood is dampened here at the point when she comes to know that her mother is no more. She is dead as many years she lived. That is, she was 12 years at the time she was in the photograph, and now she has been dead for 12 long years. And what happens now as a girl at the end of the circumstance? The poetess says, if someone asks her as to how she happened to die, she has no answer to this. Which circumstances caused her death? She doesn't know anything about it. Only she knows this all silent, all sadness, and this sadness puts her to further sadness. That is, silences. The atmosphere is quite silent. This silence also puts her to silence. This is repetition here. Here in this poem, there are three stages of life. First is youth, then middle age, and then is death. These are the essential part of everyone's life. First of all, how is our mood when you are youth? How is our mood when you are in middle age? And What happens when we die? So at this point we're quite ecstatic, and at this point we are quite sad. This is the cycle of life mentioned in these lines through a very, very small poem. Thus the poem ends, but at the end there are some important questions for the examinations. You may be asked, what does cardboard piece indicate? Cardboard piece just indicates a photograph. It's because in olden times the photographs were pasted on a piece of cardboard just hanged on wall. Second question, what did the camera capture? It's clear, an obvious question. The camera pictured or captured these three girls. Then what has been changed over the years? Mother, we people are mortal, so we have changed. And what is not changed? Only sea. That's the indicative of nature. Nature is not changeable, but we people, being mortal, are changeable. Poet's mother at one point laughs at her snapshot. What does laugh indicate? एक पॉइंट पे उसकी माँ जो है हंसती है अपनी फोटो पे. ये क्या इंडिकेट करता है? Just she has become mature now, and naturally this provokes laughter. That how she was dressed when she was young, how her parents dressed them when they were young. What's the meaning of the line? Both ride with the labored ease of loss. Ride with labored ease of loss. Actually, she is not trying to show it to anybody else that she is feeling unhappy. With effort, she is trying to hide the feeling of her sadness. But the feeling that her mother is no more is quite at her heart, and she is unhappy. Okay? Circumstance. कौन सा circumstance? The circumstance of her death. This is how the poem ends, and very important questions that I have discussed here. I hope you will get benefited from it. How do you like this? Please comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out to you or reaching out to you with some beautiful lessons ahead. That's all. Now I am here with the Hindi version of the poem. For those who want to understand the poem in English, I've done it, and now for the convenience of those students who want to understand the poem through Hindi, and here the cardboard shows me how it was. लाइनें तो वही हैं. आप देखो, एक फोटोग्राफ कविता का शीर्षक है, शर्ली टूल्सन ने लिखा है. एक दिन होता है कि कार्डबोर्ड, एक पीस होता है कार्डबोर्ड का, वो दीवार पे टंगा हुआ था. उस कार्डबोर्ड पे 3 लड़कियों के चित्र थे. 2 छोटी छोटी लड़कियां थी, उनमें से एक बड़ी लड़की थी. 2 छोटी लड़कियों ने बड़ी लड़की के हाथ पकड़े हुए थे. वो एक बीच पे खड़े थे, उनके बाल मुंह पे बिखरे हुए थे और मुस्कुरा रही थी. ये एक सीन है जो कॉमनली प्रेजेंट किया गया है यहाँ पे. तो क्लियर है कि वो सी हॉलिडे पे गए थे, बीच पे गए थे, वहाँ लहरों से खेलने गए थे, पैडलिंग करने गए थे, और एक अंकल उनके साथ थे. वो मुस्कुरा रहे थे, वो फोटो खींच रहे थे, और उन लड़कियों को कहा, बेटा मुस्कुराइए. हम भी बोलते हैं जब फोटोग्राफ लेते हैं तो आप स्माइलिंग फेस कीजिए. ऐसे उसने भी कहा होगा, तो लड़कियां मुस्कुरा रही थी. बहुत सुंदर लग रहा था. ये उनकी बचपन की है. बहुत सुंदर चेहरा था. स्पीकर पोएटेस ने जब देखा ये सुंदर सा चेहरा था. कौन थी ये लड़की? ये उसकी माँ थी. जब ये 12 साल की थी तो 12 साल की लड़की सी बीच पे गई थी. ये पोएटेस की माँ है. उस समय पैदा भी नहीं हुई थी. और इसने देखा नीचे समंदर में खड़ी है, लहरें चल रही हैं, पानी बह रहा है. तो क्या होता है फिर? इसका ध्यान गया, मेरी माँ तो पूरी बदल गई, जवानी से लेकर बुढ़ापा आ गया, कितना चेंज हो गया. बट देयर इज हार्डली एनी चेंज इन द सी. लेकिन समंदर में तो कोई चेंज आया नहीं है, तो ऐसे ही है. हम नश्वर हैं, प्राणी नश्वर होते हैं, हमारे में चेंज आते रहते हैं, लेकिन ये नेचुरल चीज़ें हैं. समंदर है, नदियाँ, कोई चेंज नहीं आती है, शाश्वत चलती रहेंगी, युग युग से बहती आई, ऐसे रहेंगी और ऐसे ही रही है. Some 20-30 years later she would laugh at the snapshot. अब 20-30 साल के बाद इसकी मम्मी एक दिन फिर इस फोटोग्राफ को देखती है, तो जब ये भी पैदा हो गई तो हंसती है उस फोटोग्राफ पे. क्योंकि मैच्योर हो गई और बचपन की फोटो पे हंसती है, हम भी हंसते हैं। देखो कैसे कपड़े पहने हुए थे मैंने, मेरे मम्मी पापा ने मुझे कैसे कपड़े पहनाए, कैसे थे हम, देखो हंसने लगती है। ये सी हॉलीडे, समुद्र में गए थे ये छुट्टी मनाने, ये उनका पास्ट था, बीता हुआ समय था। और उसकी जो मुस्कुराहट थी, उसका हंसना मेरा पास्ट था। दोनों लोगों के पास्ट हो गए, वो थ्राइव विद द लेबर। लेकिन अब इस पास्ट को देखकर खुशी नहीं हो रही है, बल्कि एक दुख हो रहा है मन में। क्यों दुख हो रहा है? क्योंकि इसकी माँ अब दुनिया में नहीं है। ये सेंस उसके मन में आता है, वो कितनी सुंदर थी मेरी माँ, लेकिन वो तो है ही नहीं इस दुनिया में। इससे उसका मन थोड़ा बेचैन हो गया। जितनी खुशी थी उतना डाउन होने लगती है। शायद भी 12 साल करीब उसको मरे हुए हो गए थे। पोएटस बोलती है कि कैसे मेरी माँ की मौत हुई, वो सर्कमस्टेंसेस क्या थी, वो परिस्थितियाँ क्या थी, वो मुझे कुछ नहीं पता। बस इसकी जो साइलेंस चारों तरफ, इससे मैं भी साइलेंट हो गई, चुप हो गई। मतलब मूड बड़ा गमगीन था, दुखी होकर के उसने ये लाइन बंद कर दी। दिस इज हाउ इज द एक्सप्लेनेशन इन हिंदी। सारे बच्चे अब इसका फायदा उठा सकते हैं। तो